Hi, have you ever wondered what is a learning disability? And in most people's mind, it is just somebody who's not doing well at school or is doing really badly at school. And that really is not the case. A learning disability is, in fact, something that's inherited. It's a developmental problem. It's something that you're born with, and there's a little glitch in your genetics, the way your brain was formed. And that is not always obvious when you're younger. And as you get older and have to learn and talk and write and read and go to school and communicate with other people, that is when these things become more obvious. And one of the common learning disabilities that most people have heard about is something called dyslexia, problem with reading. And then there's something called dyscalculia. It's almost dyslexia for numbers, problems with maths and dealing with numbers. And then there is a problem with something called dysgraphia, difficulty with writing. Kind of like bad doctor's writing, but really bad. Think about dyslexia and the other disabilities and learning disabilities as something that is not quite developed in your brain, and you're going to have those problems for the rest of your life. There are lots of ways today to help with them because we've got the advantage of technology to help you spell. You can type and don't have to write. And of course, you've got calculators. You don't have to do mental arithmetic so easily. And you can just use a calculator. So one of the things that I often, as a pediatrician, see is with learning disabilities is helping people understand what it is. So think about somebody that is really short and somebody who is really tall. So everybody at a certain age, there will be a distribution. Most people will be in the middle with their height, and there will be somebody for the same age who will either be very short or very tall. And those fall into a normal kind of range. So if you looked at a child in a classroom and you saw all the children for their heights, most people would be in the middle. There'd be some tall children, there'd be some short children. And that is like a learning disability. There are some people that are really good spellers. They are amazing. They just have a natural ability. And then those children that are not so good. There are those people in the middle that are average. And then there are those that are really bad. And they're so bad that they have a problem. And that is when we have a cutoff and we say, look, that's not in the normal range, that is abnormal. And it's like with handwriting. I think, most people think doctors have bad handwriting, and of course it's true. I can hardly read my own writing sometimes. But, these are problems where it's not just like effort and occasionally doing it wrong or right, it's all the time. It has such a big impact, it stops children learning, they're unable to properly progress at school, they can't stay in a normal school class because they need so much extra help. So learning disability is an extreme of what we all have as an ability. Some people are good with maths. Those that are really bad, like so bad that they need extra help, they've got dyscalculia, and those also with writing. There are other disabilities, learning disabilities, where there are problems with central auditory processing, the way you hear things, the way you interpret things. And there are also disabilities, learning disabilities, which also involved in your coordination. Some people are just so badly coordinated, they're so clumsy, and it really stops them learning. So learning disabilities is a developmental problem. Basically, you're born with it in your genes, and it's a variation of normal. Some people are good, some people are bad. But at the end of the day, today we're in a world where there's so much great help, and it's important for teachers to recognize these things and not blame kids for just being lazy or just not putting in effort. I mean, if you are born without one hand, it's pretty obvious, but learning disabilities are not that visible, so people don't pick up on them. So I hope that helps you understand.